Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are in beautiful Granville, Michigan, in the studio, sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. We'll talk about them a little bit later. Tonight, it's just Jesper and I. Sam was going to come on, but she's not feeling well today, so she said she was going to take a rain check on that.
Boo, Sam.
Yeah, and if anyone ever wants to be on the show, if you're ever a listener, an audio listener, or you're, just to let you know, we do live stream this every other Wednesday. You're welcome.
Pretty hard to get on the show, though.
Is it?
All you have to do is be able to breathe.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. Breathe and don't be racist or bigoted, and you're golden.
There you go.
So, So go ahead and share the show on Facebook. If you could retweet it on Twitter and like or hit the bell notification, subscribe on YouTube, we'd really appreciate it. Everything Gig Economy Podcast related is on our website, gigeconomy-podcast.com. Also, there's a link tree in there as well, where you can click on anything to your heart's desire, Patreon, all our social media links and those things. Also, I just want to quick talk about the picnic, which is
9/11.
9/11. It's taking forever to load. There we go. 9/11 is coming up. We're looking forward to it, 12 to 4. Or 1 to 4. I was gonna.
If you come at 12, you have
so
to
it's funny. I had a note here that literally says update the picnic picture. So I go in there. In my head, I didn't have the time at all, and I'm like, wait, it's right there. I don't need to edit it. No, I needed to change it to 1 to 4. Should probably write that.
So one thing I want to know though, have you gotten the petting zoo yet?
No, I have not booked that. So if anyone has a hobby farm that they're willing to transport,
hobby farm.
Yeah. You never heard of a hobby farm?
No, I know, but they have to be small. The animal. I thought.
No. Just a hobby farm is like I have a goat and a donkey and a chicken, and then I'll bring those to pet.
I used to have we're not acquaintances anymore, but I had a buddy once. He had what he called a hobby farm, and he had 30 steer of cows in the backyard.
Well, that's not a hobby farm. That sounds like a full-time business.
I was like what? Oh, they weren't all steer, but 30 cows in the back.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I want to mention our Patreon members, Keith from Georgia, Leo from Detroit, Janet from New Zealand, Steve from Colorado, Larry, who's online right now with us. Hey, Larry from Bowling Green, and Samson from Grand Rapids. Real quick, too, we have a nationwide Telegram group. What's Telegram? It's like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. It's a group online that you can join, talk about gig work. It's starting to get a little busier in there now that things are starting to open up.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, people are driving more and those kind of things. We'd love to have you in the group. The link is in the description and all of the platforms, YouTube, Twitter. I don't know if Twitter even lets, maybe not Twitter, maybe YouTube and Facebook. Check that out. And then, of course, Steve from Rideshare Rodeo, who said he was going to be here at 9 tonight on YouTube. I don't see him yet. He hasn't commented at least. But hey, he's our boy from Colorado. He has this podcast called Rideshare Rodeo. We collab together, and I would really love you to check out his show. He posts once a week, more than us. Good for him. We don't have the time.
You're not bitter?
No. I would love to do it once a week, but man, I mean, I don't feel like there's that much news. Maybe there is once a week that we could, but I think we've been doing it twice a week for 3 years, and I think that's a good fit for us. So,
yep, absolutely.
Anywhere you can download podcasts, Rideshare Rodeo, just search for that, and that would be great.
But remember to make sure you download ours first.
Of course. I mean, that's expected.
Yes.
If you don't, then that's rude. But anything going on for you? I know we got some stories to talk about, but
I'm just getting ready. The comfort van is ready, and
yeah.
as soon I've kind of told myself, as soon as they lift the mask ban in car, then I'm going.
Yeah,
that's kind of my line in the sand.
Okay.
So I mean, fully vaccinated.
Vaccinated?
Yeah, vaccinated. Vaccinated for a while now. And it's we're just kind of doing it, but I'm so looking forward to it. I've been. I'm all set back on the app, fully back on. And we'll talk about that later on. There was some exciting changes that Uber have changed when it comes to years of the vehicles. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, I just had the van in. Actually, I picked it up today. Had just a couple of minor things that needed to be taken care of. So it was.
Did you say hi to Megan when we were at Irvine's?
I did not. No,
okay.
I did not. So I thank you for pointing that out. That was very nice of you. But yes, just getting everything ready, and I cannot wait to come back on the road. I've been monitoring the apps, and I cannot believe how high those surge prices go in Grand Rapids right now.
Right. Well, we got that for a little bit later.
Yes,
so
we'll get into it deeper then. So
can you do me a huge favor? Can you pull that mic up a little bit closer to your mouth? That'd be great. Larry, did I say twice a week? I meant twice a month. Yeah, twice a week. I listen to a podcast. He podcasts daily. Can you imagine podcasting daily? Now it's a current event show, but oh my gosh, that's crazy. But
and I see Janet took a couple of days off too. She's going to Wellington. So
capital city, Wellington, 360 kilometers. Janet, what are you doing? So that's what is that like
500 miles?
Yeah, so I was going to say 500. That's kind of a hike.
Oh yeah,
that's probably to Tennessee from here. Maybe Nashville, 500 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit of a drive. What's up, Steve? There he is on YouTube. Thanks for joining us.
You all worried?
I know. He said he was coming on. I appreciate it.
It's only 9:08. It's okay.
That's true. It's 8 minutes. I mean, hell. Before we get into stories, we're going to talk about Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid. Of course, the studio sponsor of this amazing show, and they are an amazing repair facility. Call them at 532-6600 or go to irvines.com to schedule. You can do that anytime. If you wake up at 3 in the morning and just have this epiphany that you need your oil change, you can actually go to irvines.com and schedule your oil change right there. Now, no one's going to contact you till the morning, but you can get your name on the list and get in order, get in line if you need to get that done. But, 532-6600. They're located on Stafford, just east of 131 off 44th Street. We can't thank them enough. If you don't trust me, and I have to update this picture, I say that every time, go look at their Google reviews. I mean, they're pretty amazing. And if someone did have a problem, they always respond to them on there. That's really, I really like it when I'm looking for somebody or looking for Google reviews.
Right.
And I see the companies responded. I'm even if it's like, hey, thanks for that nice review. I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry, we missed there. What can we do to help?
Honestly, for me, if there happened to be a negative response, not by Irvine's, obviously, because you won't see that there, right?
Of course.
But if you see it anywhere else, if there's been a responded to it, then negative can be a positive for me.
Yeah.
Because it tells me how they deal with it, and it doesn't have to be a negative, because so many people are so stupid today.
Yeah.
Customers, not business owners.
Right.
But it's just, oh my gosh. And the things that they expect.
Oh, customers?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just, and no.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. When I see a response, as long as it's not like dripping with kissing ass, like a legitimate, like you can tell somebody took time to respond back. So, yeah, check them out. If you need repair service, oil change, any of that, I got to get my cars into for oil changes. I like to do my own in the summer, but I'm a little overdue, and I'm just like,
you're too busy right now.
I know. I'm just gonna drop it off, get a loaner from them, and that's
they have
true.
Loaners.
Yeah, they have free loaners. Yeah, they do. So that's the nice part. So you don't even, you're not even out with a car. You just.
How did I not know that?
You didn't know they had loaners?
No, I did not.
You get to drive a Prius. They have about 3
See, that's fine. I can't drive a Prius.
It's a hybrid. It is comical. Like, you're a big guy. You're a little bit bigger than me. But even a tall guy, can you see like Ben in a Prius? Like, he'd have to cram himself in because he's tall.
I'm the one that had 3 professional basketball players in my Master 3, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so first up, this is just kind of comical. I like to start out the show with. Now, let me click on this link real quick. Hopefully it doesn't play right away. Oh, it says how Popeyes would be if they had a delivery. So what I want to know, have you guys dealt with Popeyes? There are Popeyes in this area, and I know oh, he's going to kill me.
There's one on Division.
Yeah, there's one on Alpine too. Oh, Mike Basegula from he was on the show.
Mike Delivers.
Thank you. I listened to his podcast. It's on my rundown. He says he hates Popeyes. They're terrible there. So this is just a little funny video about how Popeyes would be if they had delivery.
What in the world?
Here, damn.
Bro, I ordered this 3 hours ago, bro. What's going on?
And we here now, ain't we? Okay, then you better leave a tip.
What am I drinking?
You did not order no drink. You better go on.
Bro, yes, I did. I ordered a Sprite.
You didn't order no drink. I told you that. What are you talking about?
Just look, my order is right here. It says
Man, you better get that phone out of my face. What are you talking about? Talking about he ordered a drink.
Bro, is my sauce in here at least?
Do you not have sauce in the kitchen?
I asked y'all for barbecue sauce.
It don't matter what the you ask for. Do you have sauce in the kitchen? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay then. That's what I'm saying.
And why y'all parking on y'all? Why is he
Bro,
here?
you asking the wrong question.
Bro, stop getting loud with us, bro. You getting loud with it.
It's all right, bro. Calm down, bro. I'm not playing with you, bro. Don't worry about us, man. You lucky we even came, stupid. What? Get to knock your ass out. You better stop playing with me.
So towards the end there, he asked, "What's that guy doing?" It's a guy with an apron on. So it's probably the cook or something like that. But apparently, I don't know. Like, does Popeyes like aggressively talk to you when they hand you their food? I've never eaten there. Have you?
Oh, I used to have an office down on Division, and we were not too far from Popeyes, so we would have it once in a while.
Yeah, wasn't there a chicken sandwich craze from them for a while? Like people, like someone got murdered over some chicken sandwiches or something.
They couldn't get him. I don't know, something. I don't think they got rid. Now there's another chicken place on Division that you should stay away from. People do get murdered there.
Which one? Oh, the chicken coop.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's a different story.
Yeah.
There used to be a shootout every quarter.
Is that Division in Burton?
Division Hall.
Division and Hall. Where's the Popeyes in Division?
It's further down.
Oh, okay.
Further down.
Less hoodie?
Well,
I
little
mean,
bit, I guess. Do you remember the old movie theater on Division?
No.
Okay, it's been shut down for years. But yeah, right there next to it is what it is. Yeah.
There's is that building still up? The old movie theater?
Well, it's still there, but it's not, haven't been done for it.
I wish somebody would buy that and renovate it. I love that old school movie stuff. Like the Wealthy Street Theater. Have you ever been in there?
Oh, yeah.
No air conditioning, by the way. So don't ever go in the summer. Very hot. I remember they do Laugh Fest events over there. And even in March, it would be hot in there with all the lights and people. But that's a cool old school theater, too.
Yeah. My wife and I go to the Civic Theater. So.
Yeah. That's a little higher class.
A little higher
I mean,
class,
it's old building too, but they've done a lot of renovations there.
Oh yeah.
But so next up, Grubhub.
So basically, Grubhub is launching alcohol delivery in your market next week, allowing customers to order alcohol along with their food. And then I guess they want you to do some driver training so you can learn how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't click on the link because,
it was a picture.
Well, yeah, but there's a learn more there.
Yeah, but Ben sent the picture. There was no link. I actually Googled.
Did you try clicking on it?
No, I didn't. But I did look online to try to find, to learn more, but I couldn't. But I guess I'm bringing this up. My question is, do all the other platforms deliver alcohol? Does Uber Eats? And because I've never got an alcohol order from
Ship does.
Yeah,
we know that, right?
I've done that before.
We know Ship does, and because we all got the story from Sam once, right?
Yeah,
Remember that she had 2 bottles of wine she couldn't get rid of because they couldn't prove she was 18?
Instacart, but same
either
thing.
way. So Shipt and Instacart does it. I don't know if any of the food delivery services does it.
No, I wonder if it's Grubhub. Grubhub is first to the. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know if I would, to be honest. I don't know if I mean, what kind of risk does it put me on? Put me in.
I mean, as long as you check the ID.
But how do they know that I did?
Chances are you have to scan it.
Oh,
that's how you do a Shipt. You have to scan it, and then they have to sign it.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Just another platform. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not sure why more people don't order booze like that, because, like, I swear half the drunk driving arrests are assholes going to get more booze and they're drunk. But if you're drunk and you want more booze, and if you can order on Grubhub, that would be great.
Right. If you're drunk already, you probably don't care about whatever extra it's going to cost you.
It's $35 fee to drive to Door from Grand Rapids to deliver, a fifth of Jack or something like that.
Right.
No. Oh, okay. There's always like pee stories on this show. Like it never fails. So this is from the Uber Eats.
This is kind of a positive pee story.
It is. Confession. Sometimes I accept a crappy order just because. Did I say it's on the Uber Eats Reddit page, subreddit? Sorry. Sometimes I accept a crappy order just because the restroom has an easily accessible bathroom. And then the first comment is, that's what I do with Five Guys. And then the next comment was, I'm on the shitter in Five Guys as we speak. And someone actually made a good point. It's actually the best solution since they don't drop the fries until you arrive. Then you can drop your drawers. So I would have to agree with those guys. I don't know about the fry thing, but I definitely know I wait the longest at Five Guys, and they typically have a clean bathroom.
They just closed here in Grand Rapids.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. Five Guys out in Granville is gone.
In Granville?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No.
When did that happen?
I don't know. They're gone.
How do you know that?
I drove past and the other day it was gone. Restaurant gone.
No.
Now you have to look it up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
I'm looking it up right now. Well, it says order pickup.
In Granville?
Yeah.
But I passed the restaurant and it was gone.
I mean, maybe. Are you sure it was the Five Guys right in the corner? It says open now, order pickup or delivery. Or nothing was updated and you're going to order it and sit for 4 hours because you're not going to get it. Huh.
I thought it was.
Maybe.
I could be totally wrong.
Maybe we should try to call.
I could be totally wrong.
Why would they close that one? That thing is busy as hell. That's weird.
Again,
Well,
I could be totally wrong, but I thought I passed it and it was gone.
All right. Matt said it's not gone. He did delivery for them today.
Okay, Matt, you're right.
I was like, how is that place closed? It is popping every time. Matt works my hood.
But
so.
I passed it, and
Are you sure the one in Granville on 44th Street?
yeah.
Or,
Well, obviously I'm not sure because I thought I was.
Why did I even ask that?
Maybe I should not have taken that second drink.
I wonder what you saw that you probably looked in the building, all the strip mall before that. There's a bunch of empty buildings.
Right.
But, man, it got me worried.
Because you like them that much.
You know, I don't eat there often, but when I do, it's always amazing. I just don't want to spend $75 to get burgers for the family.
I've only eaten that once, to be honest.
You're not a huge fan, or
No.
what's a go-to burger for you in this area? Like if someone came to you, if you picked up a passenger from the airport, I'm like, not at midnight, of course, but 7:00, they're like, oh my gosh, I need a burger. I need the best burger in Grand Rapids. Where would you send them?
I don't know. I don't know. But I can tell you, bar none, the best burger I have ever had.
Okay.
Brewery Levant.
Well, then that's where you would send them.
Well, yeah, but they're not always open.
Well, I know. This was
Oh,
a
yes.
hypothetical, like,
sure, yes, but
Brewery Vivant?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What was so great about it?
It was just they have one burger on the menu, right? They was like, I would like the burger. Okay,
You should say the burger.
How do you want it? And then they start asking all these toppings, and it's amazing.
Can I ask a question? How
Yeah.
buzzed were you when you ate it? Because when
I was not.
When I'm buzzed, the food is like the best. I could be eating at KFC and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best fried chicken."
But they had
ever."
this little it was like almost like a little jelly dip on top of it, and it was like soft onions, and it was just absolutely amazing. Homemade brioche bun. It was the best.
Really?
That is today the best I've had.
Okay. Hey Matt, just real quick. I unmuted myself on Discord, so if you have a chance to take a peek and hear what it sounds like, let me know. I'll talk to you about it later. I did
Fine.
something.
So sorry, Matt. I guess I'm all lying. They're not closed.
Apparently not. God, you got me all worried. I was going to say, if they close, then something burned down because that restaurant is constantly popping. It wouldn't be for lack of business. I can tell you that. So.
Yeah, maybe.
But going back to, bathrooms, we've talked about the restaurant a couple weeks ago that wasn't in our market, that basically you had to buy a bottle of water to use the toilet. And it's just
that was ridiculous.
That was, I should have followed that subreddit and see what actually happened to that restaurant. I know they were giving them like terrible reviews and stuff like that, but I will have to agree with Reddit. If you need to go to the bathroom, Five Guys. Now, I'm not going to say it's like always clean, but it's tolerable, and you will wait for your food there. It doesn't matter because it's like they do drop the fries when you get there, so to make sure they're fresh.
But you know why I'm going to go to the bathroom and start driving again, right?
Other than Johnny's?
No, Johnny's. That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
That's the cleanest bathroom. I mean,
okay, I haven't been there in about a year and a half, so things could have changed.
Right.
But I don't.
It's not. I've been there maybe twice in a year and a half because that's part of my route over there. And if I
Yeah.
have to go, number 2, I will drive out of my way to go there, and it was clean. It's pretty nice that the restaurant across the street you'll get AIDS from. A restaurant, the gas station,
Yeah.
Speedway. But you walk into Johnny's and it's
I know.
spotless.
But the thing I like about it too is the consistency, right? Here we
Yes.
are a year and a half later, and it's still spotless.
I know.
I mean, yeah.
Again, we should try to get him on the show, but
Hey,
we're small peanuts.
not a sponsor yet.
Yeah, coming soon. coming soon. Okay, Jesper, let's talk about weed.
So, I was going to talk about Amazon. No,
Well, I mean, they go together.
The story goes, Amazon will no longer test job seekers for marijuana, backs legislation for local weed. So basically, the whole thing about not being able to, so they do drug testing, obviously, but that part of the drug testing, you used to have a marijuana test as well. And so they're stopping that primarily because of so many states are now allowing, recreational use of marijuana.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine. What they're doing is they're rolling the tests they're treating it just like alcohol.
Okay.
So of course you can't be, under the under any influence while you're working for them.
So here's the question, and I don't know about marijuana. Can they test the amount of so with marijuana, like if I smoked it today, 29 days from now, it would still be in my system.
Right.
My question is, can they test the level, the amount in there, like alcohol, like where you take a breathalyzer and
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I mean, I think that is it called the halftime. I think the halftime of alcohol, Half-Life of alcohol. Thank you. Halftime is a computer game. No, that's also Half-Life. I'm good tonight. So, anyways, the half-life of alcohol is pretty quick, right? Because it's all gone out of your body, within hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works with weed.
Yeah, I know it's in your system. They can test it up to 30 days.
Right, but are you actually influenced?
No.
That's the thing.
That's
right?
how I don't know if I'm such a noob with it. I don't know if they can measure that.
Right.
And that would be important because the problem is though, like there's a lot of people that you deal with on a daily basis.
Yep.
Maybe not you because you're working from home.
Sure.
But when you were in the office, that probably were high.
Oh,
but
sure.
they just functioned as fine. Now, somebody that's quote unquote high in alcohol, they would not function fine.
I gotta tell you, there was one time in a former life when I was still in Denmark and I was working as actually a manager of an Aldi store. It wasn't Aldi, but their competitor.
Yeah.
And one of my best employees I had ever to this day working for me, he was a regular marijuana
Yeah, he
smoker.
probably smoked before he came into work.
Well, no, he would smoke at night.
Oh,
that
at
was
night.
kind of his rhythm.
Okay.
He was a roommate for me for a little bit. He didn't have a place to live, so he kind of stayed in my apartment. Anyways, but he would come home. His rhythm was he came home, he would smoke a joint, and he would go to bed. That was kind of how he relaxed. And he was able unwind, be able to get that. And then he was up there, and he was always there 115%.
Yeah.
He was always on time. He was never late.
Yep.
And worked always. And if you asked him to do anything, you didn't get a no. You didn't get anything, bad response. You would get sure.
Yeah, because he's probably high. No. Yeah, so that is going to be the thing. So the reason I am excited about this story is Amazon is going to change the employment game. So obviously
on
everyone
a national level,
on a world level,
right?
So obviously everyone's like, oh, we can't get workers. Well, all these companies are still testing for marijuana and they're getting popped. They're coming up dirty, and so they won't hire them. Amazon's like, this is stupid. Why are we not hiring people because they smoke marijuana? Yeah, it's legal in a lot of states, and who gives a shit? I mean, and so they're really going to change the landscape. And being such a major company, it's going to trickle down.
Right.
I
mean, I think the big thing here, as the article says, is they're going to treat it just like alcohol. You can't be under any kind of influence while you're working for them, of course.
Right.
But they don't care if you smoked last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah. Well,
so they're still going to do. They're basically saying here, however, given where state laws are moving across the U.S., we've changed the course. That's why they're saying they're no longer doing that. Several states, including Michigan, have legalized recreational marijuana use in recent years. Michigan is one of the several. Basically, they're saying Michigan is one of the biggest growing states for Amazon right now, and so in the effort of
really?
That's what they're saying here.
Wow.
What was they saying?
I would believe you because there's buildings popping up all over the place.
Right. So anyways, and so basically in an effort to stay in Michigan and kind of continue the growth, they're doing this to kind of also help that out. They do mention that there was a lawsuit. The change comes after a New York man sued Amazon in March, claiming that the company rescinded the job offer at an Amazon warehouse because he tested positive for marijuana. even though the city banned employers from testing job applicants for cannabis in 2020. So it doesn't state whether or not he won, but
I bet he did.
He at least sued. And so I think this kind of all, I think it makes sense. It makes sense to remove that and start treating that like alcohol. So.
Yeah, as long as they can get a valid test so people aren't falsely fired or not hired or whatever. You know, obviously the real thing happens when you're working in a warehouse and you get hurt.
Sure.
Well, they're going to make you take a drug test. Well, if you smoked the night before or even a week before and all of a sudden it shows up, you got to be able to tell how, you know, the half-life or whatever, how. And I mean, I don't know if there's a test for that.
But that'll be that's just technology. Because you
true.
can solve that. If it's not solved already, you can solve it.
It's got to be, because otherwise, how could you test for it? And because otherwise, if you cut your finger, you go to the med center to get stitches, and most big companies will make you take a drug test, but they don't make you take an alcohol test, which is kind of weird.
Right,
you would think.
So they said, Steve says in Colorado they can test your blood to get levels, but you have to okay them to do it.
Okay.
So
maybe it's a blood test is how you test the levels, and not a piss test. I bet you that's right. You just have to give them blood.
Right. But again, I think this still the big unknown is, when are you considered okay to drive again, or to use, you know, heavy machinery, that kind of stuff.
So I will tell you, I do use cannabis, and I don't get high from it. I use it for my pain and stuff.
Right.
No one in my house can tell that I've smoked.
Right.
I all I do is get a little sleepy, but I don't like fall asleep. There's medication I take right now that's probably more detrimental for me to operate my machine at work than cannabis. You know what I mean? So
and I think that's a problem too, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the modern medicine has this reputation of being so safe, and it's all, you know, as long as you take it, people don't care that it says, you know, don't operate heavy machinery and you're on this bill.
Well, I will let you know, I have to have a DOT, Department of Transportation certification. And since I'm on a couple of different meds, I have to take a physical every year instead of every 3 years. It used to be you could take it in every 3 years. Every year I have to go in and get a physical, and then I have to get an approval from my doctor that I don't fall asleep when good job fighting that yawn.
I know, right?
Falling asleep. But anyways, we'll move on. I know. Talking about freaking big pharma.
No, I think it's good though. I think it's a good direction.
I think it is too. I mean, if you can have a beer or a couple beers, we're having a glass of whiskey. I mean, we're both going to go to work tomorrow. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, maybe it depends on the night goes. Okay, this is kind of a big deal. And we're going to talk about Para in a little bit, but Para is going to be more impactful with this update. It says, updates to how you earn for DoorDash. Updates to how you earn. We believe every order should be worth your time. I love these. These are just great. Worth your time, but up to this point, you were paid similarly, I'm not drunk, I promise you, for both long distance orders and shorter trips. To make these longer deliveries deliveries more worthwhile, we're making an adjustment so you get paid more for longer trips. I swear, this is the only one I've had, and I did not smoke either. What's changing?
That much.
Yeah, that much. When you dash starting today, you may now earn 10 to 30% more in base pay on long distance deliveries. That's great. For shorter distance dashes that are quicker to complete, you may now see a DoorDash base pay offer of $250 for single order trips.
$250.
Well, it's I know it's
$3 a day, right?
Well, yeah, but people in the groups have been saying they've already sent $250, so it drops at 50 cents. But if it goes up 10%, though, I mean, so then you're going up to $3.30 if it goes up 10%. Now, if it goes up 30%,
10 to 30%.
Yeah, 10 to 30%, but the amount is always separate from any customer tips. Bullshit. Which will remain 100% yours. You can also earn more with challenges, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's kind of what Uber did the same thing, right? They did it for if you were downtown on the short trips, you made a little bit more. And I don't even remember. That was like a couple of years ago they did that, or maybe probably the year we drove last, which would be 2019, early 2020. Yeah, so They did the same thing. Long trips, you get paid less, and short trips, you got paid more. I don't know the amount, but
I don't think they lowered the short term. They just made the long term higher.
no, they raised the short term and lowered the long ways. I'm pretty sure. Longer trips got paid less. Shorters got paid more.
Well, you're talking about when they removed the surge.
No. I'm pretty sure we can probably Google it. I know
Oh,
we
sure.
talked about it on the show. I if I could give you something real quick, I would give it to you. But
Anyways, yep.
Steve says DoorDash is scraping their APIs to try to get rid of Para. Well, of course they are. You knew that was coming. I've been seeing a lot of chatter on that, but anyways. All right, before we move on real quick, I want to talk about if you are a business out there, Para, and you want to get your name out or anything like that, we would love to have you as a sponsor on the show. We can give you a detailed proposal with stats and costs, and it's relatively cheap and compared to ads, where you go on the radio or anything else. And we give you a lot of bang for your buck.
Yep.
Probably mock your name. No, I'm just kidding. We have done that on an ad or sponsor before, but yeah, email us at team@gigeconomy-podcast. I had it right. .com. Or you can Facebook message us. We would love to talk about your brand. Obviously, I mean, we're not for everyone. If you call about some eyeliner, you want us to,
Right.
I mean, I guess for the right price, I'll talk about eyeliner. But just saying.
I mean, our primary audience obviously is gig economy. So
Yes.
if you have a product that fits there, that's probably going to work better.
yeah, that's
for
going to
you.
work better. Obviously, we're all set on mechanics. That's probably never going to go away. But, a body shop owner or a detail shop would be nice. I mean,
Killer.
I don't know if that's going on. I drive by a detail shop every day to work. I should stop in there. I'm not sure detail is huge right now, especially in the summer. I think a lot of people kind of do their own thing, but in the winter, I bet.
But I foresee that in like a month or two, they're going to get really
busier.
busy again.
Yeah, they probably will.
Once
And
everything opens up.
I'm not sure even Mister is doing the mini details anymore. I know they stopped with COVID. Have they? I mean, I don't know.
I have no
I don't
idea.
go to Mister. I stopped all car wash subscriptions. So,
Yep.
but yeah, if you want to be on the show, we'd love to get your name out. So Jesper was going to talk about some requirements to drive, which he found out when he was uploading your docs.
Exactly. I was uploading my docs. So it used to be that I actually don't know how old the vehicle could be in Michigan if it was just an X. But after having talked to the rep from Uber, very nice person on email. I'm assuming they were nice. Anyways, it was a nice
I'm
email.
assuming they weren't a
It was
serial killer.
nice email. An X vehicle in Michigan can be 13 years or older or newer. So
Okay.
that's
So I got a couple years yet then.
that's what they said. 13 years.
Okay.
But after 5 years, yes, after 5 years, they have to have the inspection.
Yeah.
So, but and what was really cool is they changed the comfort rules and added 2 years to that.
So
So
it used to be
it
what?
used to be 5 years, and
So
now,
now
it's
it's 7?
7 years. So
Oh my gosh.
a comfort can be 7 years old. So as of right now, any vehicle 14 or newer can be comfort.
If it falls under that category.
If it falls, yes,
Yeah.
Age wise, if it falls.
What
under,
are the requirements for comfort? Leather?
so it's still you have to be able to have leather seats, of course.
yeah.
You have to have at least an XL capacity.
I don't think so. I think you don't need to be XL for comfort. I'm almost positive about that.
But what was? So it's definitely extra space, but where does that work in?
I think I'm almost positive. I can Google it right now.
No, you're right, because it used to be that people would offer they would know. I'm pretty sure it needs to be an XL, a large vehicle.
Nope. Let's see. Have a minimum star rating of 4.85. Drive a vehicle with more legroom than smaller compact cars that
Right.
meet minimal year requirement. So it's not an XL. It just needs to be like A Chevy Impala would probably
Right.
qualify. It just says driver with more legroom. That's all it says. So
Okay.
yeah, a Honda Fit. Although I think they got rid of Honda Fits, but
So, anyways, and then of course you're gonna get all the extra things that some drivers don't like. The ability to ask whether or not you want to have music on or don't talk to me.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
and your ideal temperature.
Exactly. Which honestly, when people didn't ask for it a lot.
No.
The one I would get most was the please be quiet. I mean, and that was not even what I said, right? It was
And
I prefer quiet.
Yeah, and that would be set up. It's not per trip, so it's a default. So if you one time put it on, if you forget to turn it off,
Yeah.
the driver sees that every time.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of annoying. I think they should ask per trip.
Right. I mean, I quite often had people who, even though they had that, they would just start blubbering.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. They probably don't even realize that it's on.
Right,
They
exactly.
turn it on or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, that being said, obviously, once I start driving, I'm going to be Comfort and XL only.
right.
I mean,
I used last time I used Uber. I used Comfort because I just wanted a nicer car. I knew it would be a nicer
Right.
car. That's all.
Well, exactly.
If you're in Detroit, I mean,
right.
some Uber X's are probably pretty sketch
I mean, we took a couple of
here.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, we had a couple of trips. One trip we went in Chicago. Most of them was pretty nice, honestly, but we had a couple of sketch ones. And then there was ones in Louisiana, and holy smokes, he was sketchy. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean,
So, but it is what it is. But with the shortage of drivers right now,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. I haven't been out this. I don't know for sure.
yeah.
But my gut feeling right now tells me I'm gonna drive X and XL. No, Comfort and XL only.
Yeah, we should get Chris Postumus back on because, oh man, there's a ton of cars on Comfort. So,
Oh, sure.
I mean, the Pilot, Accord, CRV, and Odyssey are all on.
Right.
Wow,
The Accord too.
yeah.
Oh, the Honda Accord. Yeah.
Yeah, Accord. Not the Civic. You're thinking the Civic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's just nicer models, I guess. I mean, the Accord has a lot of leg room. It's basically none of the smaller cars. That's the
Right.
What brand is your car? Chrysler?
Chrysler Comfort.
Yeah, Town and Country
Yeah.
Pacifica 300 and Aspen. Never even heard of Aspen.
So,
Huh. Interesting.
but yeah, I mean, I got nothing but good reviews out of when I did Comfort on my Town and Country. It's such a good rideshare vehicle.
Vans are awesome for rideshare.
Yeah.
If you are going to work the bar scene from 9 to
yeah.
2, buy a van. I know it sounds silly. Not even just the Comfort, but for the XL.
I was worried about the automatic doors when
That
I started.
was the best thing ever.
That's exactly the best thing because I didn't have most of my time that they didn't even touch the car,
right.
the handle, right? Because they would pull up, I would check the name,
Yep.
I open the door for them,
Yep.
and they slide open. They're like, "Ooh, these now I'm treating like kings." They love
Yeah.
that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they go in, sit in, I close the doors again. They don't even touch the doors.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
I will recommend anyone if you're getting an XL, if you're doing it for the XL, get a van because I bought that Pilot, which I love, and it's been a tank, but it is a pain in the ass to get in the third row. You got to move the seat forward. Oh, and that sounds easy, right? But the way it's set up, logically, you would pull this button up. Everyone does. And all it does is flop the seat down. It doesn't slide it forward. So then I have to tell people, like, I got to the point if I was going to an XL, I would get out and slide the seat forward for them so it wouldn't do it. And then people get drunk and then they just climb over it. And I'm just like, but with the van, it was nice. Like you said, you pop those doors open, they walk in, sit down. They don't even have to touch anything.
Well, exactly. And I have pilot seats, so they just walk, right in the middle of them.
That's what I had with my Odyssey.
Yep.
Yeah, I really loved using the van.
So.
Not that I want to drive around in it regularly, but okay. So next up, we'll talk about Para. This is kind of I don't know if I'll be able to read through the whole thing, but for those of you who don't,
you want me to read it?
you can try, but
No, I don't care.
for those, is this your article anyway? Oh no, it's mine.
No, it's yours.
So for those who don't know what Para is, it's an app that you can download on both Google Play or iOS. And basically what it does, it shows you, this is just for DoorDash, it shows you what the tip is. You get a text notification before you take it. The problem is DoorDash hides a lot of their tips behind the platform, which is so stupid. I know Matt in our Grand Rapids group has made incredible leaps in his earnings. And so I would recommend downloading it. Hopefully they want to be a sponsor on the show. Well, I haven't heard back from Jimmy, but we'll see. This is an article about people bitching about Para. It says, Para has been clear of the risks to Dashers. Banning anyone promoting the app is useless except to promote your own authority over independent contract Dashers. Congrats. I look at it this way. DoorDash will have to explain in litigation as well as to the media and to its customers why it fired drivers for simply wanting to see their pay before accepting a job. We're independent contractors, and considering the risk of impending regulatory action from the states like California over the use of the IC status, banning drivers who use an app like this will seem incredibly predatory and abusive. DoorDash doesn't want that, which is true. I think he's dreaming, but I agree everything so far.
Right.
If drivers had any spine as collective, they'd refuse to operate for DoorDash until we get truly transparent pay return, because Tony promised us we would have it, and we did until he backed out on that promise. I don't agree with that. I mean, if you got to make a living, you got to make a living. Use the apps you have out there to help yourself make a living. I don't care how many other Dashers are upset by drivers using this app, because they all should, every single one. But what are they going to do? Deactivate all of us? But some of those drivers have an employee mindset and more eager to suck Tony's cock and drive $3 orders than treat it like a business opportunity as an independent contractor. Yep. And that's why we should continue to get fucked like lot lizards at a dirty truck stop. I didn't remember reading that line. That's pretty funny.
I was wondering if you were going to say all that.
Do you see me slow down a little bit? So Steve brought up they don't do text anymore. We have notifications right within the Para app. Didn't know that. I am currently not using it. I allegedly might use it this fall. I might use it in quotes.
I used it a lot. I mean, I was only out once with it, to be honest, and I loved it.
Oh, you used the Para app?
Yep.
Okay.
I did. And the feature was the what do they call it? The tip thing. That feature of Para that's
tip transparency.
Thank you. The tip transparency. That's it. Yeah. It's an option you turn on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've seen some comments that has been a little glitchy, but that's going to happen with apps. I mean, it's just going to happen, especially when it's kind of doing some dirty work on the back end, let's say. It's going to have some glitches, but stick with them. I think it's a good feature. I'll definitely use it, allegedly, this fall. And
I think it's going to be interesting because I think Para is kind of helping clear a road for better information for us gig workers.
Yeah.
You know, this notion that you as an app producer, app manufacturer, whatever, get to do exactly what you want is not true anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree with, like, they're like, you actually don't know what you're getting paid. Like, it's a secret. So that's kind of not necessarily independent anymore when you're kind of hiding money behind stuff.
Well, and I can think of more than once in Uber where I have been at least just a little bit like concerned about whether or not what I got paid was the right amount.
Yeah.
And I know for more than once I have been told, but now again, this is just what they tell me.
Right.
That more than once they've said, I gave you a big tip in the app or whatever. And I've even seen him one time clicked on the $20 tip, or put in $20 in tipping, and I did not get a $20 tip on that ride. You
just have to trust that they're not screwing you, but I mean, people are smart. They're going to figure it out.
Right. So I'm just saying, I don't say that necessarily we can trust Uber either. You know,
no,
that we are getting.
Well, remember we tried to get a guy in the show, but we ended up, he didn't want to come on or something, but he had that spreadsheet or that Chrome extension that you could figure out if you got shortchanged on Uber Eats delivery.
Well, we actually have a story about another Chrome extension coming up. I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah,
but that's another story.
Yeah, why don't we just get right into it now?
We can. Is that the next one?
Yep, that is actually the next one.
So gig workers gather their own data to check the algorithm math. So basically,
wonder if this is the same one. This was yours, so I didn't read it, but.
Right. So,
Oh, it is the same one.
it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy
Uber cheats.
Yeah,
Might as well talk about it since we're talking about Doordash ripping people off.
There you go. So this guy wrote an extension for Google Chrome called Uber Cheats, and basically it helps workers spot pay discrepancies. He says here, I'd only done 20 deliveries, and already within the first 20 deliveries, I had a situation. Basically, he says, the ad led me up the steepest hill in Pittsburgh, a 4-mile one-way trip that clocked in an hour. Then I noticed that Uber had only paid me for 1 mile. This distance between my origin and destination as crow flies, but not as the man bike, and not as I bike. So basically, and this was only after 20 deliveries, and he noticed that it was already doing these things. So he says, well, I'm going to try and solve that. So he created this Google Chrome extension called Uber Cheats. And what was kind of fun about that was basically within a very short period, Google took it down because Uber claimed that it was a copyright infringement.
Yes.
But then he said, no, it's not. And then so Google put it back. So it's actually back in the Chrome store.
Yeah, I shared it in the chat. So if
So-
anyone wants to use it.
So far, only a few hundred workers have installed Uber Cheats on their browsers, and Sammy doesn't have access to how couriers are using the extension, but he says some have told him that they've used it to find pay inconsistencies. So the digital tool joins others popping up to help freelancers wrest back control over work directed by opaque algorithms with pay structures that might change at any time. The need has only grown during the pandemic, which has seen companies like DoorDash, Amazon, and Instacart hire more contractors to support spikes in demand for deliveries. So basically, this kind of goes hand in hand with Para, right? And these other tools that set out to kind of, what can I say, to make it a little bit more even for us to pull back a little bit of the control. So I mean, because I'm okay working gig work, and I love gig work. Right. But I wanna make sure that whatever I accept to is at least what I get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's all I want.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. It's pretty easy peasy. Like you're offering this much, this is how much I should get paid.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. I did use this Chrome when we did talk about it a couple months ago. I did use this, and I did find some discrepancies, about 3 of them, but they weren't like. They were so little that it would have been like 25 cents or something, but it wasn't worth it. But I mean, it did give me some that said, oh, it could be just a GPS drift. So the ones that they give you is for sure a screw job, but it wasn't a huge distance, I guess. So they have like for sure, maybe GPS, or no, you were paid fairly. So there's 3 different tiers.
I remember I had one New Year's Eve 3 years ago. A discrepancy. I mean, it was crazy because I picked them up. This was back then. There was still we still had search pricing.
Yeah,
and I picked somebody up at a bar, and it was at a huge surge price, and I didn't get paid. I mean, nearly enough for that ride, and I fought him on it.
Yeah,
and I finally got the money, but it took a lot of fighting with Uber.
Right. So, it's funny when you see the discrepancies. I've seen people that have driven to Chicago, and it takes how the crow flies over the lake as the distance, and you're like, wait, no, that's not how it works. So always question.
Yep.
Never trust. I hate to say that, but it's true. So
but again, that's what these, more and more of these algorithms, these softwares is proving for us too, and hopefully they'll help even the market. So
yeah, for sure. This is kind of a text exchange. I don't know if it was DoorDash or what. It says, basically, customer, it was an issue on your end. The suite number is there. I work in a hospital. I don't have time to run around searching for food I order. I'm trying to save people's lives whose hearts are failing. So I took time away from those patients to do your job. And he was like super nice. He was like, thank you for your service, ma'am. It's highly appreciated. Again, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Hopefully when you get a hold of DoorDash, this won't happen again with the missing information. But what a bitch. Like, so basically you're saying people are dying so you could go get your food, you fat ass. Like, seriously? I mean, I think people that order, I hate going to like hospitals or doctor's offices. Like a single doctor's office, no problem. You do it on the front counter.
Right.
But when they're a big like multi-office, it's like, put it in the notes, like drop off with receptionist or put in this certain area. Like us chasing around a suite, it's a pain in the ass. Like we don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, we can read signs. I get it. But if you really want to get your food, just freaking put in the correct information. Make it as detailed as possible.
Right. So, but he's alluding to, obviously he said that it was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know. But
But
anyway.
it became a he said, said, she said situation, right?
A what? A what?
A he said, she said.
It sounded like you said she shed. You know what a she shed is?
No.
Like a shed outside that a woman makes.
Oh.
A she shed. Never heard of a she shed?
I have not.
Did you ever watch what show? No, never mind. I'm gonna ripcord. I lost my train of thought.
You're gonna ripcord.
Ripcord. That's like I'm gonna stop talking about it. You're up.
Gig economy reckoning spreads to popular home service company. So basically, this I read this. So let's see here. Where I want to start. So this is basically all about an independent contractor. Her name is Darlene, and she uses the app Handyman. No, that's not what it's called. Handy. So basically, Darlene started working as an independent contractor for Handy, an on-demand service for home cleaning and handyman tasks more than a year and a half ago, for the flexibility provided her to make money while caring for her terminally ill partner. But she says there have been countless instances where something has gone awry, each of which has made her feel like she has little control over what arises while working for the company. Basically, she goes on to say that, you know, sometimes she gets brought out to do things that she's not even capable of. And there was one time she was to bring up a huge stump, and she didn't have the tools to do it, or she broke her tools, and basically not getting paid nearly enough. I mean, she says that she broke a bunch of tools doing this, estimating up to in excess of $500 just to get rid of this stump. So and she really just, what does she say here, that a Handy spokesperson said that Darlene was paid in full for the job in question. When asked about the discrepancy with Darlene's account, but basically Darlene was saying that she did not get paid what she was supposed to be getting paid, which is basically the story here. Is in more than one instance she gets one promise and she does not get paid that, and get paid less.
We're talking about that like with Uber Cheats and stuff like that, but this sounds weird that it would be that big of a discrepancy.
Well, so part of this also, I mean, it's kind of a basically. So what happened with this particular job here was Darlene says she left the job early and was docked in pay because she wasn't able to do it. But it was like she was called out to do this job that she wasn't really even qualified to do.
Yeah,
and it's just, it seems like there's a disconnect there.
Somewhere between either the customer telling the truth to Handy or Handy not telling them and it definitely seems to me like Handy is on the customer side, not the workers. They always are.
Right.
They always will be.
So she says she's been charged $50 for canceling jobs after learning they were 100 miles away. Handy cost 100 miles? Would you drive 100 miles for anything?
But see, this is where I wonder. I don't know anything about Handy. I'm wondering, like, does it not tell you how far that would seem some basic information in the job? Like, why would she accept it? And then it says, by the way, you got to drive 100 miles. So I'm a little leery on little Darlene here. I don't know. I'm not saying Handy didn't screw her on that, but I mean, I guess what is the gist of this article? Just basically that Handy doesn't. They don't do a good enough job communicating the right jobs and what they're getting paid. And it sounds like they're just kind of going on along with the Doordashes, where they're not like showing the tip up front and those kind of things. So, we talked about Handy or something like that at one point. I thought we had, it was like a couple episodes ago. I don't know if it was Handy, but it was kind of the same principle of like putting stuff together. Right. We talked about how I would struggle with that. But anyways, it's basically more of the same. And I think, closing the loop on that is we need to obviously, we as workers need to be able to trust the companies that we work for.
that they're gonna do what's best for us.
Yeah, and it does say pretty quickly we zeroed in on Handy because they seem to exert significantly more control over their workers than some of the other companies in the market. So something's going on with them. I don't know what, but I guess my only advice is if you are going to use them, just be smart and make sure they're being legit, or just don't go near them. So,
well, I mean, do with them as do with everything else. I think it's a pretty good. Every time you take a new job, right? Make sure you do your research. Make sure that you know that you want to work for that company. And when it comes to gig economy, the best way of doing research is start listening to what other people who work for the company is doing. So join some groups online, talk, figure out what they're doing and that kind of stuff.
Listen to the podcast.
There you go. Listen to
Rideshare Rodeo.
It's just, you should always do research to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
Can I just get on Facebook and just ask and say, hey, where is it busy?
You can, but you're gonna get a lot of flag for it.
Yeah, you think? Anyways,
tell me where I need to go to make some money.
Exactly. All right, a couple more articles, but before we do that, just want to talk about Patreon. If you want to support the show, we'd love it. You get an extra podcast a month, a piece of merch, and before show banter. This month they're actually getting 2. I got one more to edit yet. It's a company called Moves Financial. Super excited for these guys. I've already got the app downloaded. I'm really excited to use them again. All this stuff we're talking about, I'm not currently using. Everyone knows that. I'm not driving gig right now. But I'm excited to use them, and that will be going to Patreon first, and then a couple weeks later going out to y'all. So if you want to get on the early stuff quickly or before everyone else, join Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/the gig econ, I think, just search the Gig Economy Podcast. I need to change that to something more catchy. I don't know what I can.
Something more catchy.
Well, they shorten it. You only get like 10 characters.
Right.
Like Twitter or something like that. You don't get whatever you want. So patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. We would love for you to support us. All the money that we earn for that goes to hosting costs and editing software and all that stuff. Jesper and I don't take any money for any of it. So we're not looking to get rich. We're just looking to cover our costs. So if you love the free content, you love Jesper and I, because why wouldn't you? Go to patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you very much. For everyone that is currently supporting us, we appreciate it.
Whew, that sounded like that
was pretty.
I know,
pretty professional. I struggled at the beginning of the show reading that article, and now I'm just nailing it.
I know you're like going. You just get a drink in you. You're all good.
All right, so Jesper wants to talk about this driver's.
Go ahead.
Oh, did I miss something?
No. Go
you
ahead.
Want to talk about the driver shortage, right?
Exactly.
So I got the pictures up right now.
So we went into that a little bit before, and as I shared earlier, that I've been kind of monitoring some of the prices, and this was just even one day last week. It wasn't even one of the bigger days, because I've seen surge pricing in Grand Rapids all the way up to like $10, $11.
No, dude, somebody posted the other day, and I don't know when it was, but there was someplace in Grand Rapids that had a $21 surge.
Oh, I
it was
believe
just
it.
one little blob, but I was like...
Yep. Well, I mean, when I looked at this one, I saw when I zoomed in on the Ann Street Hotel, right there was a $10.50 surge.
Yeah.
So it's definitely very centered in on stuff, but it's just, I think it's exciting, and it kind of makes me think a little bit like the olden days.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to kind of get back. I mean, we used to bitch about too many drivers all the time.
Yeah. Now I know you're totally right. Like there's not enough drivers, and we're both sitting home. I know why you're not, but yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll get there. I'm getting excited about it, getting back on the road and that kind of stuff. But yeah, this was definitely, it's just, I know I shouldn't say this, but it's encouraging for me to see.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the night mode one, there's pretty much a surge everywhere. There's
I know.
a $5 one, a $6.51 in North Grand Rapids. So,
but I mean, I talked to a couple times to Chris, and he says he's back to back.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
That's, I want to be back to back. There's just even if it's a normal price, I don't like normal price, but I mean, I'll do it.
Well, I mean, especially if you're doing XL and comfort
only, right? But yeah, go ahead.
What did Ben get? He got some sort of.
So he got a notice from Uber that for XL and comfort rides, was it a $4?
Yeah, so you can now take home an additional $4, which is kind of big, on each completed Uber Comfort and Uber XL trip from June 2 to August 1. So it's a month worth. So I think that's really good. I don't know. I didn't get the email, but that doesn't mean.
I haven't gotten the email yet. I'm assuming I'm gonna get it, but we don't.
Yeah,
know.
especially you, because I'm just not really active on the app. In fact, I fired it up tonight. I hadn't fired it up in like a month, and you're like uploading docs and stuff. So I'm surprised you haven't gotten the email yet.
Yeah, I was even fully anticipating, and actually got an inspection because I thought I needed it.
Yeah,
and then I tried uploading it, and it just said I didn't need it. So,
and somebody in the group got another 3 rides for $100. I think it was John from North Carolina.
Also, Jamie Lynn.
She got one too.
Yep.
Did she post it on Facebook?
No, I talked to her off.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a bit. But yeah, so, I mean, we're all bitching about saturation. So if you want to make money, go out there.
Now it's the time to go make money.
Yep, for sure. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, God, this is ridiculous. No, did not happen to me. But, so people that are listening, it looks like a Sonic delivery, and every single one of the Slurpees, or what would you call a freeze or whatever, dumped out on the bottom of his car. Weirdly, I don't see a carrier, a drink carrier. What did he expect was going to happen if you have? It's basically 3 drinks in a plastic like grocery bag. I don't know. I don't see a carrier there, but God, that's never happened to me. I've had a couple of times where drinks have tipped over.
But are you sure those are Sonics?
I think so. If you look at that first cup, I feel like that's a Sonic. I could be wrong, but it looks like they're kind of styled.
To me, they just look like regular gas station drinks.
Maybe it could be. Either way, it's a fucking hot mess.
It is.
No, thank you. Like I said, I never spilled anything. I've tipped like a drink over, but I've caught it real quick. But I need to find a drink carrier for this winter. I bought one. It just didn't work effectively. The problem is the drinks are such different sizes. You have a big ass one that won't fit, or you have a tiny one that still moves around. So I need a catch all for all of that. But
catch all,
literally catch all. All right, Jesper.
So drivers are calling me names. She starts with, this is another DoorDash. It's a DoorDash Reddit.
So clearly it's a customer.
Somebody is asking for advice. Hey guys, that's a funny name.
Yeah, I like that name.
I had a strange experience as a customer and I'm not sure how to handle it. A bit of background first. I'm a researcher and often take lab coats from work to wear around the house as they are comfy. I order a lot and usually tip in assorted coins I get, usually about 10 to 50 to 20%. I try to fill it in, but also get rid of my coins. Last night, a familiar face driver came to greet me and called me Dr. Dime. I was baffled, so I said nothing, but is he allowed to do that? Now I feel the drivers make fun of me, call me Dr. Dime. Please help me. I don't want people to refer to me as Dr. Dime.
I mean, is this real life? Do you think this is a legitimate?
I don't know. It's
well,
just
clearly
weird.
he tips with dimes, so they call them Dr. Dime. But
I'm sorry, but you don't get to choose your own nickname, Dr. Dime. They're earned like by tipping people coins in a lab coat.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I think that's kind of funny. I would actually take it as a badge of honor. I mean, they're not being disrespectful. They're like, oh, Dr. Dime. I mean, as long as he's tipping 20%,
Well, exactly.
I
Who
don't care
cares?
if I get it in dimes.
Right.
I mean, money's money.
I used to say that, and a couple times it did happen, I'd get the 1 cent tip, right? And it's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because-
it's like, why even bother?
I know, right? That's the thing. You take the time to click other, and then you
type
click
0.01.
Yeah.
And then this is like, why didn't you? I'd rather you just call me an a-hole and then just not tip
I know.
the 1
Don't
penny.
tip me at all, right? It's like I'm gonna fuck you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesper never says the F word. Holy cow.
It's just.
Anyways, all right, last up, kind of a shorter show. When it was just 2 of us, we kind of fly through this stuff, which is fine because that's less editing for me. But I love this. This is a picture from Uber drivers Facebook group. It's a guy changing the tire on a car, and the person, John Ferguson, said, this possibly belongs in the Uber. Wait. This possibly belongs in the Uber believe it or not file. Today, driving the rain in Indy, I had a flat tire with a passenger on board. After I pulled off the road, I told him he would have to secure another Uber driver, but Ryan said he could fix my flat in 10 minutes. So mostly Ryan, put on the spare tire in about 10 minutes, and then I completed the drive. That was sure better than waiting an hour plus for AAA to show up and change the tire. Flat tires are part of the Uber gig, but I was most appreciative of my all-star passenger Ryan today. That's man.
And he still tipped, right? I thought I
no,
saw that.
that was another one.
Oh,
that
okay.
was another one. Yeah, I ended up deleting it, but that's super cool to hear.
I know.
I mean, you just don't hear those stories.
No.
That's the problem with the news. It's like clickbait of all the terrible stuff, and you don't see a lot of that stuff.
But it is good to see that, people who are it's just relationships and people.
Right.
So
honestly, I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had a flat while working. I think I would call AAA. I don't know. I don't want, especially if the weather's terrible. I'd be like, I'll wait for AAA. I feel like kind of a bitch doing that, but it's like, I'm not getting out on the highway changing a tire. I mean, I'd rather get it towed over to somewhere safer and do it. But
so how often when you get a flat, I'm asking this because I simply don't know. How often do you get a flat? Is immediate flat, like it explodes? And how often is it just like it goes slowly out?
Yeah, I think a lot of those flats happen because people are not paying attention to their tires and it's already low.
Oh, yeah.
And so it finally just bites the dust. I mean, a tire is going to break down so much quicker if it doesn't have proper inflation in it. I don't think there are a lot of bursts happen.
See, I asked because I have a small compressor that's battery driven, and the battery is enough to fill up my tires.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna take that on the road with me when I start driving again, just if something happens.
Well, it would be nice too if you did notice you come out of the gas, although if the gas station probably has air, but yeah, I don't know. I would guess it's more a slow leak that turned into like, oh my gosh, we didn't pay attention. So kind of a tip too to make sure you're.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do it with my work truck. I kind of walk around and make sure, kind of take a visual look to make sure everything's secure. It should be. I mean, I parked it that way at the end of the night, but you never know. So.
Right. So there's no sensors on your work truck.
Sensors as far. Oh, the tires.
Tire pressure.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's new. It's a 2014. But no, just in general, like as I trailer things, I have a machine, so I just always just look at stuff. You just never know. I mean, today, one of the guys left a tool on top of my weed control tank. He must have been working on something and set it down, and I walked around and saw it. Otherwise, I'd be driving down the road. It would have fallen off or maybe hit a car or something. So just a good idea to check your tire pressure on a regular basis. But anyways, guys.
That's it.
Thanks, Steve from Ride Your Rodeo. Matt says Bell Tire has free air at all locations. Yep. If you're driving during the day, you go buy a Bell Tire. I think Discount Tire does it too. But, Jesper's a weekend night warrior. So Bell Tire. Well, I'm sure the air is off at night. I'm sure they wouldn't have it on. No, maybe they would, but
I don't know.
Anyways,
but I have my compressor.
That's true. You're good. You don't need no free air. Damn it.
I have my own free air.
Yes. All right.
I'm full of free air.
Yeah, you're full of free air. Hot air. Anyways, guys. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.